so much conspiracy research is based on body consciousness, the five senses. It's about banking scams and political scams and dates, names, places, all absolutely vital stuff, and I do an enormous amount of it myself. But if it ends there, then all we're going to do is learn more and more and more about our prison cell. I'm not interested in learning more beyond what is necessary to understand what the situation is. I'm interested in the key. Where's the key to open this door, to walk out of the cell, not to learn more about it? And the only way to find that key is by becoming conscious, to start to access higher levels of consciousness so that we can perceive the world from a much higher perspective of knowledge, understanding, and wisdom, and have the inspiration of how we react and respond to the situations that we face with the gathering police state.
Am I a spaceman? Do I belong to a new race on Earth bred by men from outer space in embraces with Earth women? I request my right and privilege to have such thoughts and ask such questions without being threatened to be jailed by any administrative agency of society. In the face of a rigid, doctrinaire, self-appointed, ready-to-kill hierarchy of scientific censorship, it appears foolish to publish such thoughts. Anyone malignant enough could do anything with them. Still, the right to be wrong has to be maintained. Massive basic human right, the right to be wrong. We should not fear to enter a forest because there are wildcats around in the trees. We should not yield our right to well-controlled speculation. It is certain questions entailed in such speculation which administrators of established knowledge fear. But in entering the cosmic age, we should certainly insist on the right to ask new, even silly questions without being molested. And I demand that right for myself, and no men in dark suits or uniforms are going to deny me that, for I am consciousness, not some clone of some idiotic, brain-dead system that seeks to tell me who I am, and what I can and cannot do with my own mind. So, when we open our minds, or go beyond that even, then we start to see reality in a different way. This is a wonderful quote. You were born an original, don't die a copy. So many people do that. They go through their lives thinking the norm in society is the only possible perception of reality. And because the majority appear to believe it, therefore, by definition, it must be true. Truth does not change because it is or is not believed by the majority of the people. As Gandhi said, even if you are in a minority of one, the truth is still the truth. Or as this proverb says, the multitude is always wrong. And invariably, when you look through what we call history, it turns out that way. It is the people who have challenged that have moved us forward in terms of our understanding of who we are and the nature of the world we live in. Few centuries ago, the majority believed. Why? Because those people perceived to be all-knowing, the scientists and religious people of the day, said the earth was flat, and if you went too far, you'd fall off the edge. And people were jailed and vilified for saying, actually, it's a sphere. And then when the evidence becomes overwhelming that the earth is actually a sphere, then that becomes the new norm, and now anyone who says that it's flat is now ridiculed for believing that. The difference is, what is the norm accepted in society at any one time? And that's the truth that people follow. We live in a world of conflict and war and famine, where people, a few people, control and hijack the wealth at the expense of the vast majority. We live in a world which, take a step back, deep breath, look at it again, is utterly bloody insane. And we're asked to believe, and so many people do, that we are somehow at the cutting edge of human evolution. We're nowhere near the edge of what is possible and what is there to be known. But the norms are very powerful, especially when, from cradle to grave, we are constantly manipulated and confused with contradictory information, and when we're pressured to believe it, otherwise we'll get ridiculed or condemned for being different. And we are in a situation, a world brilliantly described by this man, Michael Elner. Just look at us. Everything is backwards. Everything is upside down. Doctors destroy health. Lawyers destroy justice. Universities destroy knowledge. Governments destroy freedom. The major media destroys information. And religions destroy spirituality. That's where we are.
Feel numb. Can't move. Feel like I'm winded. It should pass. Come on. It should pass. Not sure if I could move. I didn't want to, just in case there was a part of me not working. Or even worse, missing. The mortar hatch opened to the ground instead of the sky. I forced myself to move my toes. They were all there. And then my fingers. All moving. I still had limbs. Alive and in one piece. Fuck for that. Anybody alive? Speak to me! Being in the middle must have saved me. The rear of the wagon took the hit. I saw movement towards the back, but there was so much smoke it was hard to see who it was. I could just make out.
You go to war to set the people free. You terrorize the kids with your COD. try to ask you as you go cold.
Warm liquid ran down my back. Blood was pouring down from the turret. I turned to see the two bodies slumped and still. They'd taken me up blind. Johnny's headless body now lay crumpled against the side of the wagon. The rest of his top half held in place by the Osprey. I groped my way over what was left of him to get to the other two. Kenny was lying over Dan. There was blood everywhere, but no obvious holes in his body. Kenny! Kenny, get up! I tried to shake him. I tried to drag him off Dan, but he wasn't moving.
Please, for you want to condemn me for what I'm saying because it's outside the norm? Great, fine. You have a right to say that. I have a right to say this. Everyone's a winner.
That now controls every area of my life. Oh, I was helping to do it, dear.
I'm sorry that I'm struggling to find words, because words fail me. The idea that governments, with their record, have the interests of the people at heart. Anyone who believes that is basically a lost cause in terms of understanding what's happening in the world. And I'll just leave them to get on with it. And when the knock comes on their door, don't call me.
It just means a choice right now between fear and love. Fear is the four-letter word that has controlled this planet and this human race for thousands of years. Love is the word that will set us free.